He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dīnabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vansha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet. Hare Krishna. So we will continue to study from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam today. Before we come to the verse, today is also the disappearance of one of the very dear associates of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Are you aware? Who is the associate whose disappearance day today? Dayashil Prabhu? You don't have a Vaishnav calendar?
Yes, no, Prabhu, the hard copy I don't have. I have that software.
No, I have so many times told those who are not living in temple, where you apply tilak, there should be two things. The tilak mantra should be there because we keep forgetting. And many times we are in haste and hurry. We don't apply. At least those who are initiated, they must apply 12 tilaks. If you don't apply, then you are committing an offense. So not to forget that wherever there is a mirror, beside that mirror, please paste that. And near your altar, you should have the Vaishnav calendar. Like we have in IRI. You have seen in IRI, there is a Vaishnav calendar pasted. It's a very simple practice. Bhakti is very simple, but the difficulty is to become simple. This is the problem. So how we can be in parampara, or how we will receive the blessings of parampara if we have no connection with the members of the parampara? Pranab, you are aware?
No, Prabhuji.
So, how can we be included in the parampara? We are very much spaced out. Very simple. Keep your Vaishnav calendar in such a place where you can never miss. The best way is, at least it is expected, and those who are aspiring, they must apply everyday tilak on the all 12 places. Please pick up the practice of applying in all 12 places. Whenever you take bath, you must apply 12 tilaks with the mantras. If you don't, accept the practice, how transformation will happen? How change will come? Today is the disappearance, Ravindra Prabhu?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Saranga.
Saranga Thakur. Saranga Thakur Prabhu's disappearance. These are very basic things, we should not miss out. Saranga Thakur is one of the associates of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and his place of his Shripad, as we say in Bengal, his place of bhajan is Modadam Dweep. You remember we went to Modadam Dweep, where we took prasad. Anyone remembers from Modadam Dweep? Ganesh?
Yes, Prabhuji, we went Modadam Deep.
Modadrum Dweep. So his Shripad is in Modadam Dweep. It is famous for it is the birthplace of Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur, who gave us Chaitanya Bhagavat. So Srila Sarang Thakur comes from Modadum Dweep. It is on the other side of Ganges. And he was so devoted and so committed to serve Krishna. He had a very beautiful deities of Radha Gopinath. We went to that matha, if you remember. That mutt was there near. And then after taking that darshan, when we entered, there was a big tree. In the entrance of the temple, there was a big tree. That tree is still surviving. It was embraced by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even after 500 years. And every day he was busy, absorbed in serving his deities of Shri Radha Gopinath. This is the Prayojan Tattva. And then in the evening he would cross the river and then go to Navadip and participate in Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan at Shiva's Angan entire night. And in the early morning he would swim back and come back to Modadam Dweep and begin his service to the deities. So he was 24 hours engaged. And he was so simple-hearted. He did all the service alone himself. Actually, it is stated that Sri Sarang Thakur is the expansion of Nandi Mukhi Devi or Gopi. It is said that Vraje Nandi Mukhi Asit Sadhyo Sarang Thakura Prahlado Manyate Kaschin Matpitrana Se Manyate. That in Vrajabhumi, in the land of Vraja, who previously appeared as Nandi Mukhi in Braj Leela, that same personality has now appeared in God Leela as Sarang Thakur. Some say that he is also the incarnation of Prahlad Maharaj. But Mat Pitra na se manyate. But Shri Kavi Kornapur, who has given us Gaur Ganadesh Deepika. Gaur Ganadesh Deepika is a very, very extraordinary book, very small book. I have that book with me. Very small. But it has very confidential content. It gives the disclosure of all of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's associate. What was their previous role? Who appears as whom? Which of the personality who was present in Braj Leela before, how he appeared in Gaur Leela. So today is the day of Sarang Thakur. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told him that you are so busy, absorbed in doing services from morning till night and not even sleeping in night. So why don't you accept someone as your assistant, as your disciple, who will help you in performing all devotional service? So see, one principle is there. If you become sincere to perform service, Krishna becomes in anxiety. How to serve his devotee? Prabhupada says in one verse, it is inspiring me. Prabhupada says that when the devotee, there is always a competition between the Lord and the devotee. So we see here very graphically. So Sarang Thakur is day and night engaged, absorbed in serving Lord Chaitanya and his deities. Radha Gopinath. So they're not different. Jai Gaura, Sai Krishna. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is feeling so much of anxiety that how to assist and help Sarang Thakur. So he was again and again, Mahaprabhu was recommending Sarang Thakur to accept a disciple, to initiate someone, but Sarang Thakur was so humble that he never thought himself fit to become a guru. It is the other way. Now everyone wants to become a guru. Huh? Those who are not qualified, they have the desire to become guru. But those who are qualified, they, like Sarang Thakur, he was not willing to take the position. We see in the life of Sanatana Goswami also. Sanatana Goswami did not accept anyone as his disciple. Even when Jiva Goswami requested to be initiated, he said, you go to Rupa Goswami. So in any way, so Mahaprabhu, when he insisted so much, so Sarang Thakur thought that, okay, when Mahaprabhu is so much in anxiety and he has such strong desire, so he made up his mind that next day morning when I go to Ganga for my snan, whomever I see first, I will initiate him. So somehow he assured Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very much persuaded. And next day morning when he went to take bath in the river, and as he was taking bath, he took a dip, and when he came out, something touched him. And what he saw? He saw a dead body floating. And he chanted the mantra, and that person became alive. That is the potency of Mahaprabhu's associate. Brahmanda tarite shakti dhare jana jane Veda Purana gaye yahara charane. So they have such potency by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he was a young boy. He was a young boy, and because he was bitten by a snake, and due to the poison of the snake, he died at a young age. So the parents and the villagers, they did not cremate him. But one, that he was young, and second, he was bitten by a snake. So they left him in the Ganges. So once his body touched Sarang Thakur's Prabhu's feet, and Sarang Thakur Prabhu recited the mantra, he came live. And when he came live, he became live, his parents came to know that their dead son has become live. So just imagine what will be their response. They all came running. And they started embracing their son and sharing their joy. And they are so happy to get their son back, who was bitten and whom they thought was dead by the poison. So this boy who comes back to life, he says, whose son? And whose father? On what basis am I your son or you are my father? In every life I have had father, or I had had a son. So which life and which father? I have only one father who has saved me, and that is Sarang Thakur. So in this way, this boy, he was enlightened by the touch of Sarang Thakur Prabhu, and he pacified his parents, and he became Saranga Murari. Saranga Murari. Not much is known about Sarang Thakur Prabhu, but very important is, this is the importance of initiation. What is the importance of initiation? That the spiritual master brings the dead person live. One who is dead, in his spiritual awakening. But what we learn, that one has to become a sadshishya. One may have a sadguru, but will he not be able to get the advantage? Advantage will only be when he becomes a sadshishya. With the sadguru, what is required is a sadshishya. So Sarang Thakur was a sadguru, and Sarang Murari became a sadshishya. So on this day we remember Śrīmad Sarang Thakur Prabhu, and we pray to his lotus feet that the attachment he had for unstoppable services to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he did not care for anything. He did not desire any support or any facility or anyone else to perform service. In our case, as soon as we get service, we start to look, what is the support? Without any support. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself became his support and gave him such a disciple. Sarang Thakur Tirubhavati Mahamotsav ki jai. Okay, we will continue. How to progress. Very beautiful section of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. One of the most important section of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. How to progress on the path of bhakti. So each stage is mentioned. And how this progress is beginning. How one can come in this bhakti ladder. How one can join the bhakti ladder. What is the first foundation step? I am asking you, all of you. We want to climb the bhakti yoga ladder. What is the first step? Yes, Ganesh Bro?
Prabhuji, first step is Mahat Kripa.
Yeah, Mahat Kripa. And when the Mahat Kripa is coming?
By performing Mahat Seva.
Yeah. And what is it? How the Mahat Seva begins?
Following instruction, Prabhuji.
Hearing. How we will follow. What we will follow. If we do not hear, how we will follow? Where is the question of following? It is hearing. So the progress is beginning from the 16th verse. The step 1 is Shushusho Shraddhanasya Vasudeva Katha Ruchi Syan Mahat Sevaya Vipra Punya Tirtha Nisevanat. It begins with the process of hearing with faith and through the hearing serving the pure devotee. This is a combination of hearing and serving. So the 16th verse gives which stages? It connects to which stage? Let us go chronologically. Then we will come to today's verse. 16th verse connects to which stage? Turn quickly. क्या भूल गए क्या सारा? बोलिए. Yes, Ravindra Bro. Unmute करिए. Unmute. You are muted.
Yes, Prabhu, Satam Krupa by serving to the pure devotees of the Supreme Lord.
Okay. और क्या स्टेज है? बस एक ही स्टेज है. What are the stages in the 16th verse? Pranam Prabhu?
Then one get the affinity of hearing, one get taste of hearing.
Yeah. Yes. So we see 4 stages. Satam Kripa, Mahat Seva, and Shraddha. Shraddha. And Shraddha is coming how? By hearing. Vasudeva Katha Ruchi. It is also developing some taste. Then the 17th verse. Who remembers the 17th verse? Anyone who has memorized the 17th verse? Very famous verse. There is nothing to memorize that verse. That verse is, if you are hearing, it should be automatic. One of the mostly quoted verse from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Yes, Priyanka, you remember this verse? 17th verse?
Yes, Guruji.
Boliye.
शृण्वतां स्वकथा कृष्णा पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तना हृदयान्तस्थो हि अभद्राणि विधुनाति श्रुतसताम्.
Yes. No, very good. So the 17th verse speaks of bhajan kriya. After association with devotees, so what one performs? One starts to perform bhajan. And how is the bhajan? Hearing and chanting. Shranvatam swakatha Krishna. And just by hearing what begins? The process of cleansing, purification. Anartha nivritti. And this process is personally done by Krishna. And what is the next verse? We discussed the 18th verse also. We have discussed the 18th verse. Yes, Pranab Prabhu, you remember the 18th verse?
नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी.
Very good. Thank you. So here in this verse, what are the stages? What is the stage of progress? From Mahat Kripa and Sadhus and Seva, Mahat Kripa and Satam Kripa or Mahat Kripa and Satam Seva and Bhajan Kriya. Then what is the stage? Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu. This is Anartha Nivritti. Anarthas become to eradicate. One becomes pure. All the impurities and the misgivings which are there in the heart, they are all released. And one becomes pure. And to what stages come? Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. He comes to the stage of Nishtha. Nishtha means he is fixed. He is fixed in performing service. Okay, so now we'll go ahead. The 19th verse. Tadā rajas-tamo-bhāvāḥ kāma-lobhādayaś ceta etair anāviddhaṁ sthitaṁ sattve prasīdati. So with anartha nivritti, what is released? Tadā rajah and tamah-bhāvāḥ. The effects of nature's mode of passion and ignorance. And from passion and ignorance comes what? Lust, anger, greed. Here Prabhupada is saying desire and hankering disappear from the heart. As soon as an irrevocable loving service is established in the heart, What is irrevocable loving service in the heart? Bhaktir bhavati naishtaki, which is from the previous verse. So as soon as one comes to the stage of performing irrevocable loving service, what is irrevocable loving service? Bhakti bhavati naishtaki. Bole? Yes, Manoram Prabhu.
Prabhuji, you discussed that irrevocable means to become fixed or steady in devotional service.
Yeah. That means he has not to be told. He does not require any external motivation. That becomes automatic for him. That becomes his nature. He does not have to make any external effort. Like in the morning, you wake up to brush, what you have to do? Do you do anything to brush, actually? It is automatic. Even to bathe, although there is laziness not to bathe. That is different. But it is automatic. Those who are driving car, what they have to do? Do they have to do anything? It is automatic. Why? Because the mind is aligned, already accepted. So here, Srila Prabhupada is, see the class of Srila Prabhupada's translation also. You will appreciate what Srila Prabhupada is, how he is revealing his heart. He says, as soon as irrevocable loving service is established in the heart, the effect of nature's mode of passion and ignorance, such as lust, desire, and hankering, disappear from the heart. So as soon as the positivity is established, negativity is eliminated. Then the devotee is established in goodwill. Sthitaṁ sattve prasīdati. When passion and ignorance is gone, what remains? Sattva. And he becomes completely happy. And ceta etair anāviddhaṁ. Another aspect of understanding is that the effect of rajas and tama is not on his cetana. They are completely unaffected by the influence of the mode of rajas and tamas. A living being in his normal constitutional position is fully satisfied in spiritual bliss. Prabhupada is saying, in normal constitutional position, is fully satisfied in spiritual bliss. This state of existence is called brahma-bhūta, 4:30:20, or ātmānanda, or the state of self-realization. This self-satisfaction is not like the satisfaction of the inactive fool. I think I have read this. Did we discuss this verse?
No, bros. We are discussing today only.
Okay. The inactive fool is in the state of foolish ignorance, whereas the self-satisfied ātmānandī is transcendental to the material state of existence. This stage of perfection is attained as soon as one is fixed in irrevocable devotional service. Devotional service is not inactivity, but the unalloyed activity of the soul. So Prabhupada is clarifying that what is devotional service? Devotional service means constant engagement. It is not inactivity. The soul's activity becomes adulterated in contact with matter. And thus, the diseased activities are expressed in the form of lust, desire, hankering, inactivity, foolishness, and sleep. The effect of devotional service becomes manifest by complete elimination of these effects of passion and ignorance. So when one is in passion, so all these dirty things will arise. As we see, Krishna says, yat kamesha krodesha rajoguna samudbhava. So unless and until one does not uplift or advance from the stage of passion and ignorance, so anarthas will remain there. The devotee is fixed at once in the mode of goodness, and he makes further progress to rise to the position of Vasudeva. That is Shuddha Sattva. Vasudeva is Shuddha Sattva. Or the state of unmixed Sattva. It is the same. Here in this material world, even Sattva has adulteration of rajas and tamas. But here it is being talked about unmixed or unadulterated Sattva, which is only Shuddha Sattva. Only in this Shuddha Sattva state can one always see Krishna face to face by dint of pure affection for the Lord. A devotee is always in the mood of unalloyed goodness. The Prabhupada is really slapping us. Prabhupada says the devotee is always in the mode of unalloyed goodness. Therefore, he harms no one. But the non-devotee, however educated he may be, is always harmful. A devotee is not... How can one say? How can one justify this statement? Who can explain this statement of Srila Prabhupada? A devotee is always in the mode of unalloyed goodness, therefore he harms no one. But the non-devotee, however educated he may be, is always harmful. Yeah, give purport to this purport. What is the understanding? बोलिए. Quickly, I want to cover one more verse. Yes, they are Shilpa.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Srila Prabhupada tells in Bhagavad Gita that violence is not only the physical violence, but if one is not uplifting any persons to his spiritual position, he is also committing violence. So like non-devotees, they do not help in the upliftment of the anybody else.
Supreme Prabhu, what Prabhupada is saying here, a devotee is always in the mode of unalloyed goodness. Therefore, he harms no one. But the non-devotee, however educated he may be, is always harmful. This is what I want elaboration on. A non-devotee never harms, a devotee never harms, and how a non-devotee will always harm.
Prabhuji, devotee, he tries to uplift other spiritually, like paradukha dukhi. He's a Vaishnava, means he's a paradukha dukhi. So he tries to uplift others also spiritually. But non-devotees, they do not help others to uplift spiritually. So Srila Prabhupada tells that violence means not only physical violence, but if you are not able to uplift others spiritually also, there is also one type of violence. In that way,
Okay.
it's causing harmful.
Okay, very good. On that platform, you can say this statement is justified, that non-devotee will always commit violence because he's not uplifting or he's not helping anyone to become Krishna conscious. Okay. Some other viewpoints or understanding? बोलिए जल्दी बोलिए. It is there in the verse itself. Why it is taking so much of time to answer? I have already given you the hint. It is already there in the verse. The verse itself speaks. Yes, Pranab, bro.
Prabhuji, devotees are influenced by, not influenced by any mode of ignorance or passion. Non-devotees are influenced by mode of ignorance and passion, so they are selfish mentality.
Very
So
good. See? Yeah.
indirectly, they are harmful.
This is what Krishna is saying. Yeah, tadā rajas-tamo-bhāvāḥ kāma-lobhādayaś. Ceta, etair, anāviddhaṁ. So just ceta means the mind. From the mind, the influence of the mode of passion and ignorance is already removed. So what is left? He is in the mode of goodness. In the mode of goodness, can he think of harming anyone? He will only think of helping others once. Okay. A devotee is neither foolish nor passionate. A harmful, foolish and passionate cannot be devotee of the Lord. However, they may advertise themselves as devotee by outward dress. Watch Prabhupada's word. A devotee is always qualified with all the good qualities of God. Qualitatively, such qualifications may be different, but qualitatively both the Lord and his devotees are one and the same. We'll take another verse. Evam prasanna manaso bhagavad bhakti yogata bhagavad tattva vijnanam mukta sanga sajayate. Further progress. What is his status or what is this stage? Evam prasanna manaso. That should be the aspiration. To always be enlivened and overjoyed. Where? In the mind. How? By Bhagavad Bhakti Yogata. By performing devotional service, which is given under authorities. Thus established in the mode of unalloyed goodness, the man whose minds have been enlivened by contact with devotional service. So his contact with matter has been terminated and his contact with Krishna has been established. So he becomes enlivened and he becomes enriched every day. So the man whose mind has been enlivened by contact with devotional service to the Lord gains positive scientific knowledge. Bhagavad Tattva Vijnanam. Vijnanam means science. And Bhagavad Tattva is what? Philosophy or knowledge. So what is his position? Mukta Sangasya Jayate. He gains positive scientific knowledge of the personality of Godhead in the stage of liberation from all material association. Hare Krishna. In the Bhagavad Gita 7.3 it is said that out of many thousands of ordinary men, one fortunate man may endeavor for perfection in life. Very famous verse. Who remembers? Many times we have quoted, we have studied this verse. At least 2 times. 7.3. What is it? 7th chapter, you know, Pradeep, na?
Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanvan.
That is 7. My dear, that is 7.3. Huh? Like a parrot, you are speaking without taking notice to what is the reference of context. What here Prabhupada is writing. In the Bhagavad Gita 7.3 it is said that out of many thousands of ordinary men, one fortunate man endeavors for the perfection of life. Yes, Dashil Prabhu.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी मनुष्याणाम सहस्रेषु कश्चित् यतते सिद्धये एतताम् अपि सिद्धानाम् एवं
Kashchit mam
हाँ
veti
हाँ
tattvataha.
बोलिए।
Pradeep Prabhu, what happened? Not practicing. That means you're not practicing. You are mixing up. That means practice is not there. So many times I told you should recite from 7 to 12, whatever you have assimilated or whatever you have learned. You should keep repeating, reciting. Okay. So Prabhupada is talking about 7.3 in this verse. And thus they are engaged always in lust, desire, hankering, ignorance, and sleep. Out of many such man-like animals. Prabhupada is bringing down the status of man to animal. On what basis? What basis Prabhupada is degrading them? On what basis Prabhupada is degrading them to animal? Man-like animal. There is actually a man who knows the responsibility of human life and thus tries to make life perfect by following the prescribed duties. And out of many thousands of such persons who have attained success in human life, one may know this scientifically about the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. In the Bhagavad Gita 1855, it is also said that scientific knowledge of Sri Krishna is understood only by the process of devotional service, Bhakti Yoga. Okay. Please share this verse, 1855. What the verse says? Mali? Yeah. Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yaschasmi tattvata. Tato mam tattvato gyatva vishate tadanantaram. Okay. One can understand me as I am, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, only by devotional service. And when one is in full consciousness of me by such devotion, he can enter into the kingdom of God. Yeah. Stop the share. So Prabhupada is quoting this verse in the purport. The very same thing is confirmed here and in the above word. No ordinary man or even one who has attained success in human life can know scientifically or perfect the personality of Godhead. Perfection of human life is attained when one can understand that he is not the product of matter, but is in fact spirit. And as soon as one understands that he has nothing to do with matter, he at once ceases his material hankerings and becomes enlivened as a spiritual being. This attainment of success is possible when one is above the mode of passion and ignorance. This is the condition. One has to go beyond passion and ignorance. Or in other words, when one is actually a Brahmana by qualification. A Brahmana is a symbol of Sattva Guna or the mode of goodness. And others who are not in the mode of goodness are either Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Sudras or less than the Shudras. The Brahmanical stage is the highest stage of human life because because of its good qualities. So one can be a devotee unless one at least qualifies as a Brahmana. The devotee is already a Brahmana by action, but that is not the end of it. As referred to above, such a Brahmana has to become a Vaishnava, in fact to be actually in the transcendental stage. A pure Vaishnava is a liberated soul and is transcendental even in the position, in the conception of Brahman. Sorry. Even to the position of Brahman. In the material stage, even a Brahmana is also a conditioned soul, because although he is in Brahmanical stage, the conception of Brahman or transcendence is realized. Scientific knowledge of the Supreme Lord is lacking. One has to surpass the Brahmanical stage and reach the Vasudeva stage to understand the personality of Godhead Krishna. The science of the personality of Godhead is the subject matter only for study by the postgraduate students in the spiritual line. Foolish men or men with poor fund of knowledge do not understand the Supreme Lord, and they interpret Krishna according to their respective whims. The fact is, however, that one cannot understand the science of the personality of Godhead unless one is freed from the contamination of the material modes, even up to the stage of Brahman. When a qualified Brahmana factually becomes a Vaishnava in the 11th stage of liberation, he can know what is actually the personality of Godhead. Yeah. So I'm not discussing any further. We will discuss maybe Krishna will tomorrow again. Some important aspects. Any question? Any discussion? But till what stage this is taking us? Tadā rajas-tamo-bhāvāḥ kāma-lobhādayaś ceta etair anāviddhaṁ sthitaṁ sattve prasīdati. What stage? Okay. So I'll stop here. I don't see any inquiry. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai. Srila Saranga Thakur Tirobhav Titi Mahamotsav ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.